Hello friendos! You might be asking yourself why I look like this, and the answer to that question is it is 11:56 in the evening and I've decided to do a 24-hour reading vlog starting from midnight, so I have 4 minutes. So let me quickly talk about books that I would like to read during this 24-hour reading vlog. First of all, I've talked about this book so many times. I would finally like to read No One's Talking About This by Patricia Lockwood. People call this the Twitter novel, so I'm very much looking forward to it. You can see there's quite a lot of different formats because we have a graphic novel. This is the second book. It's a trilogy called March by John Lewis, and it talks about John Lewis's fight for civil rights. And I've actually read the first book last year during a 24-hour reading vlog too, so I thought let's make this a tradition. It took me a year to finally get my hands on this book because graphic novels are so expensive and I really wanted to get one used, so I got this one. It is a little bit bent, but I don't mind. We have A Month in the Country by J.L. Carr. This is a modern classic. This was published in 1980, but it is set in 1920 in the English countryside, and this soldier goes to this countryside after, you know, the First World War, and I only know that this is beautifully written. So, and also it doesn't have any chapters, and it's like 100 pages long, and it only has like little page breaks here and there, so I think this is actually a perfect book to read in one sitting. And lastly, we have a play, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead by Tom Stoppard. I don't know if I will read this exact book during this readathon, but I will definitely read one of the plays from my bookshelves. This is one of the options. And the last thing is something I have is an audiobook. That is The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. The audiobook is like 6 hours long, and I don't think I'm going to read both this and No One Is Talking About This. I will probably start both of those, but I don't think I will have enough time to finish both of those novels. I'm a pretty slow reader, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, what time is it? It's 11:59. Okay, it's exactly midnight, so let's start with the reading. Okay, sorry for the terrible lighting, but I just read about 40 pages of No One Is Talking About This, and it's okay. I think it's really hard to write well about the internet, and I think she's doing a very good job, but is it interesting as a novel? I don't know it. Here's the thing, I don't like reading for a very long periods of time. I like to, you know, take breaks. So I think I'm going to play the piano a little bit and then maybe read my graphic novel. I'm going to like skip around a little bit with the things I read. You know, if I'm bored with one of the books, I can just switch to a different one, and I like that. I hope it's not too confusing. So let's do some dramatic piano playing at 1 a.m. is 4 a.m. and I just finished March, the graphic novel, and I give 5 stars. It's amazing, just as amazing as the first volume was. I think I will tell you a little bit more about it in the morning. I have to be quiet because it is 4 a.m. So I'm not tired, but I feel like I should take a nap or something, so I don't feel dead tomorrow. I'll update you later. Hello, it's 9 a.m. I did fall asleep for a few hours, but now I'm ready to read some more books. Okay, time for a quick update. Not a lot of reading was done, and it is 4 p.m. already. So, I told you last night that I finished the second volume of March, and I gave it 5 stars. The first volume was here's the first volume. The first volume was mostly about John Lewis's childhood and about the sit-in protests, while the second book was focusing more on the freedom rides and the 1963 March on Washington. And the story was kind of switching between those kind of historic events from the past and the day when Barack Obama became a president. Like, what do you call that? Inauguration? I don't know. I really would recommend it. I also have the third book already, and it is the longest one, and hopefully I will get to it soon. I finished the first part of No One Is Talking About This, and I'm not loving it, I have to say. It really does feel like you're scrolling through like a Twitter feed, which, you know, I feel like was kind of the point. I do think that the author has done a really good job depicting what it feels like to live your life on the internet, and I do think she depicted Twitter really well, but I'm just kind of like, there's no plot whatsoever. Like, literally, I read 113 pages, and it all felt like just scrolling through like random tweets on Twitter. Like, I feel like there's no substance, even though I am enjoying what she's trying to say. Like, there are some things I read, there are some funny remarks, there are some things that make you think and make you realize that living in modern society is a fucking nightmare, and there's a lot of things that make me go, huh, that's true. So I'm not hating it, I'm just kind of like, where is this going? What is this for? I did hear that the second part is focused on grief, and I do think it's going to be a little bit more personal, and I'm looking forward to it. I also started A Month in the Country by J.L. Carr, and so far I'm like 15 pages in. It is only like 100 pages long, but I think it's going to be a very slow, kind of reflective book. It's about this, he is called a damaged survivor of the First World War, and he comes to this village to stay at this church to kind of renovate, is renovate the right word? Uncover this painting, very old painting. And yeah, I don't think there's going to be a lot of plot in here, but I do like the writing style, so we'll see. I still haven't started my play, so we'll see if I will get to it or not. Hi, it is 8 p.m. and I'm almost done with No One Is Talking About This. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't tell if this is blurry or not. If it is, I apologize. The second half of the book was a little bit more heavy, and I don't know, I think the fact that I only slept 4 hours is like weighing down on me. I'm tired, but I'm also like, I feel like I'm about to get a headache, and I feel like I need to take a walk outside, and my body is hating me for sleeping 4 hours and then not leaving the house once and reading all day. So I do think I'm halfway through A Month in the Country, and I do think I can finish both of those today, but I think I will take a short walk. Okay, I'm back. This was a good idea. It is only 8:30. I was out for like 20 minutes, but I already feel like a new person. So I'm going to take a bath and read some more. Let's do this. Done. Time to wash the mask off. Hi. I was about to do my final update because I finished No One Is Talking About This. I gave it 3 stars. And I started reading A Month in the Country, but my brain at this point is no longer capable of comprehending like any information. Like, I read like a page and I didn't remember anything I read. So I think my brain is telling me that I should stop, even though I still have 2 hours and I would be able technically to finish this because there's like 50 pages left, so 50 pages in 2 hours is definitely doable. But yeah, not only I could not just bring myself to read anymore, but also my camera broke. I don't know what's happening. Like, I can't really turn it off or make it record anything, so yeah, I don't know. I will do a final wrap up tomorrow. Hopefully my camera will work at that point. So I'm going to sleep. Okay, it is the next day. I feel really bad for finishing the vlog 2 hours early. So I decided to set out 2 hours and during those 2 hours finish the third book. Yes, it is cheating, but I don't know, I feel bad for only finishing 2 books in 24 hours and like very short books, and one was a graphic novel, so this is a freaking joke. So I will finish this book and wrap up everything that I've read, especially since I didn't talk much about No One Is Talking About This by Patricia Lockwood, and I have some thoughts. So it looks like it's really light, but I turned on the light because the sky turned really dark and I think there's a thunderstorm coming, so Not sure if you can hear it. Yeah, that. So, I finished reading with 6 minutes and 56 seconds to spare. So before I start talking about, no one is talking about this, let me just tell me my thoughts about A Month in the Country. I think I still feel like I need to spend some time thinking about the rating and what I've read, but I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. It really is a story about this young man who was a soldier in the First World War, and he comes to this village to kind of, it's mainly about him cleaning the painting. And you know, he meets some people in the village and he just spends his day working and talking to people, and there really is no plot, but it's so comforting. It's so slow. It is very nicely written. If you can, I would say it's best to read it during the summer, so July or August, because I think if I remember correctly, most of this book is set in August, so I've chosen the perfect time to read it. And yeah, I do think it's a charming story. Would recommend it. I have talked about Marge already. 5 stars, definitely would recommend. And no one is talking about this. Oh boy. I gave it 3 stars, and I think I've mentioned it before, unless I didn't. This is, what do you call it, like a fragmentary novel? Is that the right word? Like the entries are very short, and it is and it does have 2 sections. There's part 1 and part 2, and part 1 genuinely feels like you're scrolling through like a Twitter feed, and even though it's from one person, there's a female unnamed narrator, it feels very random. There's no overarching story, and yeah, like I said, there's like 113 pages of that. And then there's the second part where, like, without spoiling anything, there's a family tragedy that the narrator has to deal with and, you know, help out, and it's very clearly is autobiographical, and I just don't know how to criticize it as fiction. Like I'm a little bit confused why it is up for, you know, awards in the fiction category. And if I didn't know that this was heavily influenced by the author's life and like real life events, I would have said that the second half was supposed to be touching, was supposed to bring some emotional response, was supposed to be profound even, and I just I don't know, it fell flat for me. By the end it felt very, it's getting darker and darker, sorry, by the end it felt very kind of cliche, like, look, the narrator learned a lesson here, and I don't know if I can say that knowing that this is partially, you know, autobiographical. I don't know. I do think I think the second part does talk about some important topics, and even the first half brings out has some interesting points about the internet. It definitely shows kind of absurdity of, you know, living your life on the internet to some degree. I can see how it's valuable, but I don't know. I feel like the second half was supposed to bring it together. Yeah, I have some conflicted feelings on this one, so 3 stars. So that's all. I'm a little bit embarrassed that I've only read 2.5 books, and they were all very short. But that's it, that's the end. Hope you had fun nevertheless, and I'll see you next video. Bye!